Good morning and welcome to my backyard again. And I wanted to take a little time this morning to show you some of the things that I've been sprouting in my garden. And a lot of times people say that they can't afford a garden because it's too expensive. But I'm telling you that right now we can not afford to garden or try to do some gardening. So I want to show you some of the things that I've been using for recycling and repurposing my seeds that I get out of the fruits and vegetables that I buy at the fruit stand. And some stuff is seed though, but I'm going to show you what I've been germinating down here. Now I've been using this putrefaction process that I talked about, where I put a fruit or vegetable that's overripe inside a plastic baggie and put it underneath the light. And it gets all smushy and rotten, and then you come outside and just put the whole thing into the soil and you'll grow some fruit. So I want to show you how I've done this and how amazing this is. Okay, these down here they're either peppers or tomatoes. Let me look here. I mean, look at, these are tomatoes right here. This was one cherry tomato, two cherry tomatoes, and then some of the seeds that scattered. There were two rotten cherry tomatoes. I kept them in a baggie and put them in. Look at the amount of plants. Every single seed in that plant is literally growing. These are more, they're either peppers or tomatoes. I have to look at the thing, but more than likely these are tomatoes. These are little rotten tomatoes that I planted. Yeah, these are all tomatoes. These are tomatoes. So this was like one rotten tomato that I put in here, and literally look at this. I mean, there's dozens upon dozens of plants. And if you go to your local fruit stand and you get their heirloom tomatoes and buy one of those, it's worth it for the seed, because literally every seed inside that tomato is going to grow for you, and you're going to get the same size fruits over and over because it's an heirloom. Folks, there's no sense to buy seeds when you can get heirloom fruits and vegetables that you can grow yourself. But there are some things that you do have to grow from seed if you can't get heirlooms. You know, you'll have to order seeds from somewhere. But I recommend trying the Ancient Grains and Seeds Bank. They do have native grains, native seeds. And I want to show you down here, I think this was a little handful of peas. I wrote on the outside. Oh, these are purple hull peas. These are peas that my dad's had for a long time, and he gave them to me. And I sprinkled a few in here. I like to reuse my containers that I get strawberries in. They're great for germinating and growing little seeds until they get bigger and you can transplant them out. Like these are almost ready to be planted out. These, I'm going to let these go for a little bit while longer, and then I'm going to just put the whole thing into the dirt. And tomatoes, for some reason, they like to be put in really, really deep dirt, but they also have very tender roots. So if you disturb the roots, they don't like to grow. They will not grow well for you. I've been letting, this is a supermarket lettuce, and I've been letting it go back to seed. See here? I'm letting it go back to seed, and then I'm going to collect the seeds and use the seeds. Here's my watermelons. I already have blooms on my melons. I've got to get these transplanted out. I still got 1, 2, 3, wow, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Still got 9 out of 12. Not too bad, right? And then my passion fruit vine. I mean, look at the size of this thing since the last time we were out here. It has really gotten big. I mean, and then my potatoes that I have growing in a old recycling bin. They're great for growing potatoes in. They got flowers on them, blooms. This is a sweet potato here. And these are all beans and peas that I planted in the swimming pool that was for my dog that my husband hit with the lawnmower. So I'm going to transplant these out when they get a little bigger. But this is the best news right here. These are from the St. Augustine orange that I found on the forest floor. I was so ecstatic. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 trees. Can you believe that? 10 trees from one heirloom seed. I mean, from one heirloom orange. And it was a 500, at least 500 years old. It could be older than 500 years. I mean, do we really know who planted the orange groves in St. Augustine? They've probably been there since the 1500s. Who knows? I mean, were they monks? Were they Spaniards? Were they Indians? I mean, are we ever going to get to the truth, right? But I'm so excited to have these Hamlin heirlooms growing, and I can't wait to share them with my friends and family. So I've got a red potato that I salvaged out of my last mishap. I didn't plant my potatoes right the last time. It's been a process of trial and error over time. And I decided that, you know, whatever vegetable I'm trying to grow, I need to go back and look at the geography of where it grows best. And so being that Ireland is the place, and then I'm thinking, okay, Ireland used to have a lot of trees. So I was thinking peat moss, and I was thinking oak leaves. So I've been growing potatoes in oak leaves and peat moss. And this is the first time in 3 years that I've grown potatoes that I've ever had so many flowers. So that's the deal right there. Now these tomatoes have about had it right here. These are from over a year ago, and they gave me all that I'm going to get out of them. But I was just waiting to see what was going to happen with the sunflower here. I thought it might make some seeds, but I think the birds already cleaned it. But I've got one of my plants back here that's still doing well. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try to prune it. And you know, I'm having a time with these white moth. I don't know what you call them, but they keep laying their eggs all over my tomato plants here. So I think I'm going to have to get some neem oil today, and then I'm going to have to cover these guys with some landscaping fabric because I don't want to put poison all over my plants. And then my red onions, these are tops that I cut off of the onion. Look at these guys, they look beautiful. And then I had some rotten tomatoes. See, look, the whole clump here, they're all coming up. I mean, there's dozens and dozens of plants there. That's crazy. Can you believe that? From letting it rot. Okay, my peanuts, I only had one plant, and I don't know if it was because my peanut seeds were old, but I replanted them, so we're going to see what comes out. These guys need fertilizer really bad, so I got some organic fertilizer that I put on there, and you see the spiders are doing their job, and I'm going to leave the spiders alone. You do have to be careful when you grow bell pepper in Florida, because you get a lot of black widow spiders on your pepper plants. I've had a lot of occasions where I've had poisonous spiders. Matter of fact, I had an enormous red recluse spider that was living on my porch, on the end of my porch, and she would come out at night. I would say it's a she, I don't know, because she was doing a good job killing a lot of bugs. But she would come to the end of my porch, no lie, and she would spin the most beautiful, massive, perfect web. And then she'd hang out all night, and then I would come out in the morning, because I get up early every day, like 4:30, without fail. I always take my animals out first thing in the morning, and she's out here at 5:30 in the morning just picking it all up. She just collected up in her mouth. And she was out here for about a week, and I don't know what happened to her. It looked like something, probably a frog, jumped through her web, and she was hanging in her web, and she was dead. I was really sad about it, because she, you know, even though she was a poisonous spider, you know, there are a lot of things that are poisonous, but just because they're poisonous doesn't mean they want to kill us. You know, just because wasps bite doesn't mean that they're all going to bite us. Everything has a job, you know. Spiders have a job, snakes have a job. Everything has a job, just like we have a job. We have a job too. We have a role here. Everybody has a role. We have to fulfill our purpose. So I'm going to show you my okra, and I have aloe plants down here too, and this is one thing that I'm going to try, is that, you know, it's impossible to have citrus growing in Florida and not have citrus greening. I mean, my trees have greening on them. So in order to keep growing oranges and citrus, we have to figure out what can we do. And I think that the key to solving our citrus greening problem is that we have to reintroduce the sacred enzyme back to those plants. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to amend my trees with aloe vera, and I'm going to cut it off my plants, and I'm going to chop it up. I'm going to put it in a bucket and just chop it with a shovel and get it all sloshy, and then I'm going to amend it into the soil around my plants. And I'm theorizing, and this is my theory, is that by amending my soil with aloe, that the aloe, because it is absolutely so good for the body and it is so good for the gut, and you have to think, plants, animals, humans, we all are the same fundamental thing. We're all made up of minerals. We're all made up of cells that are intelligent. We're electric, we're magnetic. So I'm going to try to treat my citrus trees. I'm going to give them a better defense, because in a way it's kind of like they're getting cancer, right? It's almost like they're getting cancer. So what can we do? We need to boost the immune system. So we're going to try to boost the immune system on my trees. And so this is one thing I'm going to try to get done this week. But, you know, you got to take things one day at a time. So I want to show you my okra plant. My basil's not doing too good here, but, you know, we just got to do trial and error. Okay, so these are okra. I grew these from seed and they're doing beautiful. I'm going to get these transplanted out. Now this is my squash right here, and as you see, there was a little moth that just flew off. I've got some moldy stuff on here, but my vine has come down here and I've got a great looking shoot coming off of it. But we're going to move that today because I think that it's getting too much water from the sprinkler. Now you can see that I've had these bugs have been after my things, so I think that if I give them a little bit of extra nutrition, that they'll be able to fight it off. And then my cranberry beans, look at these. I bought 3 of these pods from the fruit stand, and I have a whole bush, I mean a whole pot full of them. I mean, they look beautiful. And then this is all new growth right here on these mangoes. I grew these from putrefaction. And my papaya that I grew from a rotten papaya, I put it in a baggie. Look, I got 2 little trees that came out of it. This is another one right here. I didn't think that this one was going to come up. I thought the squirrel stole it, but I didn't want to dig it up and check. I didn't want to disturb it, but lo and behold, I got 2 papaya trees there, and that is so exciting. 2. From what? From a fruit that was on the reduced table at the vegetable stand because it was a little out of date or a little over fresh, and they couldn't sell it. So I got it. I thought, for $1, shoot, I got 2 trees for $1. 2 trees for $1. That's a good deal, right? So here's my avocados. They were getting a little too much sun, as you can see right here, and I've got some kind of something on there, but so I put this screen up here to block some of the morning sun. It's coming over the house. See, this is why I say that if you're going to grow them in Florida, the best thing for you to do is put them in partial shade for the first couple years of their life, because it's really hard on them if you're trying to grow something that doesn't really grow too good in Florida, but you can grow it. So you need to plant it underneath like a tree line or something like that, or just keep it in a pot for like the first 3 years. But I like to, around the 2nd year, if I grow something from seed, I like to experiment with different spots in my yard. I'll put the pot in like one spot, maybe in something a little shady, and see how it performs. And then if it doesn't like it there after a week or so, then I'll move it to another section of the yard. And I do that until I see where it feels like it's the best spot to put it out. And then, of course, anytime that you're planting trees, you want to be mindful. You don't want to put anything by your septic tank, because you'll have a world of SHIT, if you know what I mean. So I got these apple trees that I planted over here, and I planted them underneath the tree line, see? And I think they're gonna do okay. They do need a lot of water, but this guy right here, it's got a shoot coming off the bottom, and I'm not sure if it might be a secondary tree. And I think it's because I put everything from the pot in and I grew it from seed, so it might have been another seed that was with it. And then this apple right here is a Honeycrisp, and I got it at Tractor Supply for 14 bucks. Look here, it's already got blooms already. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? I mean, I'm so happy about that. This guy right here, literally $15. $15, and all I did was rake up a bunch of oak leaves from the yard, because I mean, that's nature's medicine right there. I mean, I got all these trees right here, and they're full of leaves, and they fall all over the yard. So the kids come out and rake up the leaves, and my husband rakes up the leaves, and we just keep the leaves. We just amend the soil with it, because our soil here is nothing but sand. There's nothing good in it. You can't really grow anything good in it. So, you know, you can get a block of peat moss from Lowe's for like 16 bucks, and then yard clippings and things like that, and amend your soil with it. I mean, that's nature's bounty there. People go and buy all this dirt and stuff. It's really kind of unnecessary. It really is. You can just use what God gave us. So I wanted to show you something that I've been doing. I meditate, and I like to stay in touch with nature. And I was talking to my guardian angel one day, or a nature spirit. I don't even know who. There's a presence out here that's really wonderful. And we were talking about. I was talking about seeds and things like that. And for some reason, I had in my mind that from now on, every time I eat an apple, that I'm saving the core, and then I come over here and I toss it into this tree line that's right here. And for some reason, I feel like it's going to grow here. I do. I feel like I've been told, to throw all my seeds over here, just like Johnny Appleseed did. And that's actually how Johnny Appleseed grew all these apple trees, was he was just throwing his stuff to the side. But he was reseeding the earth. So anyway, obviously in the tree line there, it's full of oak leaves that just fall down layer on top of layer on top of layer, and then broken branches and different things. And you know, there's constantly all kind of new trees growing in there. So I was thinking, you know, what's it gonna hurt, right? I can't possibly like put everything, plant every single thing, you know, and try to grow it myself. I just can't do it, but I want to. I want to give everything a chance. So anytime I have apple seeds or extra orange seeds or any kind of fruit that's gotten old, like peaches or plums, everything, I'll just toss it over there. After we eat it, we keep all the seeds and I toss them in the tree line. So I'm thinking, you know, yeah, it's for Earth. You know, save all your apple cores and save all your peach pits and everything, and toss them into the woods, or toss them on, you know, into a tree line, so we can grow more, you know, fruits and vegetables from the earth. I mean, I'll tell you what, we really got to start putting some trees back on this planet. These trees would bring us food, and you know, we can't be dependent on everybody to feed us. We got to take care of ourselves, right? All my other trees are doing really good, but these right here are my plumerias, and this is my hobby plant. This right here, over the past few years, has helped me with my grief so much. I grew all of these from clippings, and then I have a couple, but I put most of them, no, actually, these right here I grew from seed. I ordered seed on the internet. So I'm not sure if they're really going to be the color that they're supposed to be, blue and purple and yellow. But I'm sure we'll get the yellow, but I'm not too sure about the blue and purple. But you know what? I'm going to be optimistic about it. I'd really like to see a purple plumeria. I'm sure it'd be gorgeous, but I don't think there's such a thing as purple plumeria. But anyway, my cousin that lives out in California, she sent me a box of clippings from a plumeria farm, and they're all from heirloom rootstock. And this year I'm gonna have flowers on them, but I have those planted on the side. But a couple different vacations I went on, I was given permission to take a couple clippings as a memento, and all of them have grown for me. Just a, like a 10-inch clipping. And then I went on a vacation with two of my best girlfriends, and they let me take a couple clippings. Well, they actually even clipped them for me, of some clippings off of their tree outside. They had a huge tree. It was down in Cocoa. So I've got those growing. But these are plumerias, and this is what they make the Hawaiian leis out of. And then these are purple sweet potatoes that I put them, it started from one sweet potato, just one. And now I have sweet potatoes all over my yard, but I plan to grow them so I can make soap out of them and give them to friends, hungry friends, because purple sweet potatoes are so nutritious. So I want to show you right here. This is my other plumeria. This is from one that I grew from a clipping, and then one of the pieces broke off of it. And this right here, a lady was, I think this is one that I bought from a lady that also grown from seed. So, and these right here, these are huge lilies, and I got these seeds off of an enormous plant that was growing when I went to my doctor's office. It had a bloom on it, and it was full of seeds, so I brought them back, and I just laid them on the ground, and now I have probably 50. They're called chronium lilies, and they're the largest lily species of all, and they grow about 7 feet tall, and they have these beautiful white blooms on them, and all of nature absolutely loves them. But I just wanted to take a little bit of time and go over how well my plants are doing. See, you can do this too. You can absolutely do this. We got a lot of stuff going on in the yard of clippings, picking up clippings, and then there's this is the fertilizer that I use when my plants need it. This is organic fertilizer. I try not to use too much fertilizer because it makes your pH get off. And if you're using the oak leaves and the peat moss like you should, those oak leaves are going to give a lot of nutrition. And when your plants are fruiting or flowering, one good thing that you can do is if you have, I'm going to look and see if I can get it out of my pellet smoker, but if you have like a fireplace or a fire pit and you don't use like gas and stuff, don't squirt any gas on it. Or if you have like an outdoor wood burning stove, like we have an outdoor wood burning stove, and during the cooler months, we'll fire that thing up and, we'll just sit outside and enjoy it, because I can't take the cold weather very well. I'm really sensitive to cold. But the ash from the wood that falls in the bottom, I take that and sprinkle it on my vegetables, and it does amazing for your vegetables. And I guess I don't know how I came upon it. It came to me in a meditation, ash. And I was like, oh, I wonder if you could just use ashes. So now I save all my clippings, like when we're cleaning the yard and stuff, and we put them in a pile. And then my husband will burn them. And then all that ash, we put all around on our fruit trees, because it's natural potassium, I'm guessing, or it's natural potash. But they need it. They need it just like we do. But it's just like anything else. You can't give your plants can't have too much nitrogen, and they can't have too much phosphorus, and because they get out of balance just like we do. And another thing that I learned is if you have like clovers that grow around your fruit trees, don't pull them all up, because that means that they're taking some of the extra phosphorus out of the ground. It means you probably have a lot of phosphorus. If you've got a lot of clovers that are growing in your yard as weeds, you probably have a lot of phosphorus in your yard. And the good thing about clover is that they eat it, they balance it. So, you should always keep in consideration that natural is the best way to go. Not necessarily, you know, having the most perfect yard and not having any weeds. Because, I mean, is something really such a thing as a weed? If you were starving, you would eat that grass and the weeds and it would be good, right? I think I would. I probably would. But anyway, I've rambled on for 25 minutes. Way too long in my opinion, and I'm sorry about that. But I really wanted to show you. I know you can hear the birds in the background too, isn't it nice? I just wanted to show you how well just putrefying vegetables and fruit and then growing them and putting them in some peat moss and oak leaves, you can grow a lot of stuff yourself with not a lot of effort. You know, not a lot of effort. You just got to water it every couple days. And I also am using up all of our scrap wood around here because we're trying to clean up, do some spring cleaning. But we have a lot of old scrap wood and stuff laying around, so we're using that and some chicken wire and stuff to do some outdoor raised beds on a budget. So I'm going to show you because, you know, I'll grow seeds in anything. I'll grow it in a pot, I'll grow it in a pool, I'll grow it in a bucket, whatever, any kind of container. But after a while, you know, it starts looking pretty trashy. So anyway, we're going to try to get things cleaned up around here and see if these are going to work. So it's going to be some landscaping fabric, some chicken wire, lots of staples and nails, and some scrap wood. So we'll see what we get, and I'll update you on the next one. So when you tune in, I'll be here to my, you know, to my channel here. I'll be here because we're, you know, we're all gonna tune into the same frequency eventually. You know, we're gonna get this world where it needs to be together. You know, everybody's gonna step into their own, and it's gonna be a beautiful place. So when you come by my video and you tap into my frequency, I'll be here because we're living in the past, in the present, and in the future, all at the same time. So you have a great day, and make sure you go outside today. It's such a beautiful day. Go outside and put your feet in the grass and set your intentions for today and say, it's going to be a beautiful day, and be grateful. And thanks for watching Sacred Enzyme. Bye-bye.